Okay, dear friends, good evening. How are you? Now I have to start from the same topic I have left you at the point. But first of all, let us solve 5 MCQ questions because you people have already shown the sufficient brilliance to solving the questions. But apart from the mains prelims question, now I expect you people to show your and reflect your excellence even in mains questions simultaneously. Question number first. A famous Christian saint, Saint Thomas. What Saint Thomas? Wrong spelling. Thomas. Saint Thomas. A famous Christian saint, Saint Thomas, is supposed to have come India during the period of which king? Choice number Rudra Damna, B. Menander, C. Gandopharnes, and D. Kanishka.
C.
Choice number C. Yes, correct answer. Question number 2. Which of the following Gupta rulers issued silver coins to commemorate the victory over the Sakas? Choice A. Chandragupta the first, choice B. Samudragupta, choice C. Chandragupta the second, and choice D. Askan Gupta. मतलब किस गुप्त शासक ने शकों पर अपनी विजय के उपलक्ष्य में चांदी के सिक्के जारी किए? Choice number C. Chandragupta the second. Yes, good. Question number 3. Which scholar of Gupta period has mentioned the event of Chandragupta Vikramaditya's ascendancy after the assassination of the Saka king Rudra Singh the third? मतलब रुद्रा सिंह द थर्ड के असैसिनेशन के बाद चंद्रगुप्ता द सेकंड को थ्रोन मिला था, इसका इंफॉर्मेशन हमें कौन सा ऑथर देता है? चॉइस सी अमर सिंह, सॉरी, चॉइस बी कालिदास, चॉइस सी विशाख दत्ता, एंड डी शूद्रका.
C.
Choice number C. Vishak Datta. Yes, that is the correct answer. Question number 4. Which of the following regions were acquired by Chandragupta Maurya after defeating Seleucus? मतलब सेल्यूकस को डिफीट करने के बाद चंद्रगुप्त मौर्य ने किस रीजन को अनेक्स किया था? चॉइस ए काबुल, चॉइस बी काबुल एंड कांधार, चॉइस सी काबुल, कांधार, हेरात एंड बलूचिस्तान, एंड चॉइस डी काबुल, कांधार एंड बलूचिस्तान.
Again C.
Choice number C. Yes. Question number 5. Who conquered Kalinga first? Choice A. Mahapadnanda, choice B. Shishunaga, choice C. Ashoka, and choice D. Chandragupta Maurya. A. Mahapadnanda. Yes. Oh my students, the 5 MCQ questions are just like a cakewalk for you people. It is just like a cakewalk. You have done it so easily. Okay, now I have come to this conclusion that I have to bring some tough questions to you people, so that you have to at least fight with the question for some seconds before answering the question, because it is, I think you have very easily solved the questions. Very good, commendable achievement on my behalf. A lot of, you can say, thanks for this better performance. तो हम अब जहां पर थे वहीं से आपको याद होगा कि हम लोग एक्सपेंशन this expansion of the empire. We are just going to cover this topic, and we have reached up to which topic? That is Gupta, and then we have reached up to Harsha. Firstly, the first one part, that is the expansion of the empire of Harsha. First, let us cover it. Actually, my friends, I have just given you a briefing earlier. During the last days of Gupta, due to Huna invasion, Gupta empire just broke to pieces. So, in absence of a centralized structure, or in absence of a big empire, there was the rise of regional patriarchs and regional states. So I have made you familiar with the name of the regional states. Pushbhuti dynasty in Asthaneshwara, Haryana. In previous class I have told you. Mokhari dynasty, Mokharis at Kannauj in Upper Gangetic Basin. Then Matrakas in Ballavi, Gujarat. A branch of later Guptas in Malwa, and another branch of later Guptas in Bihar, and some Chandra dynasty, but later the Chandra was replaced by some Shashank. Shashank was a very ambitious ruler and he was the ruler of Gaur. तो मैंने आपको बताया कि अब एक सेंट्रलाइज एम्पायर तो रहा नहीं, तो बहुत सारे रीजनल स्टेट्स आ गए थे। उसी में मैंने आपको बताया पुष्पभूति डायनेस्टी स्टेब्लिश हुआ अस्थानेश्वर हरियाणा में, मौखरी डायनेस्टी कन्नौज में, जो मैत्रकाज हैं वो बल्लवी में और गुजरात के बल्लवी में, और एक ब्रांच है लेटर गुप्ताज का वो मालवा में और दूसरा ब्रांच बिहार में। तो इन दिस वे यू कैन से कि द डिफरेंट रीजनल स्टेट्स वेर एस्टेब्लिश्ड. There was almost a condition of the balance of power among themselves and no one was in a position to subdue the other. But this balance of power was certainly broken and certainly disturbed when there was the matrimonial relations between the two powerful dynasties at that time, Pushbhuti from Asthaneshwara and Mokhris from Kannauj. In fact, the ruler of Pushbhuti ruler was at that time Prabhakar Vardhana. He was having two sons, the elder son Rajivardhana, the younger son Harshvardhana, and one daughter Rajasiri. So this Prabhakar Vardhana chose to get his daughter Rajasiri married to a Mokhri king. His name was Grahavarmana. So this matrimonial relation was having the greater political importance at that time. But the arch enemy and rival to this Grahavarmana, the king of Kannauj, was Shashank of Bengal. And Shashank of Bengal was in secret connivance or in secret treaty with a later Gupta king of Malwa that was called Devgupta. So it was Shashank who provoked Devgupta to invade over Kannauj and to punish Grahavarmana. So Devgupta invaded Kannauj and Devgupta, just you can say, killed in a battle to Grahavarmana. So just Rajasri was widowed due to the assassination of her husband. तो मैंने आपको बताया कि एक्चुअली ये दोनों के बीच एक वैवाहिक संबंध हुआ, तो बाकी किंग्स के लिए ये ईर्ष्या का, ये जेलसी का विषय था। उसी में जो गौर का शासक शशांक था वो कन्नौज का एनिमी था ग्रहवर्मना का, और दूसरा देवगुप्ता जो मालवा के जो लेटर गुप्ताज का एक ब्रांच था जो मालवा में रूल कर रहा था, वो उसका सीक्रेट फ्रेंड था। तो उसको उसने प्रोवोक किया कि आप जाके कन्नौज पर अटैक करो, तो उसने कन्नौज पर अटैक करके ग्रहवर्मना को मार डाला। तो राजश्री अब विडो हो गई। अब up to this period Prabhakar Vardhana had already passed away and his successor was Rajivardhana, his elder son. So Rajivardhana came to know about the demise of his brother-in-law. So furiously he moved towards Kannauj and he chose a war with Devgupta and he defeated and killed Devgupta. So in this way he took retaliation of his the demise of his brother-in-law or the assassination of his brother-in-law. So it was a great success on the part of Rajavardhana. But when Rajavardhana was taking rest, according to Van Bhatt, when Rajavardhana was taking rest in the palace of Kannauj after finishing Devgupta, in the meantime, it was Shashank of Bengal who consciously and he just hatched out a conspiracy and secretly murdered or assassinated this Rajavardhana. So Rajavardhana was assassinated by Shashank. So it was during this critical juncture that there was the rise of Harsha. He just hurriedly, in a hurried moment, he performed his coronation at Asthaneshwara first, and then as a ruler of Asthaneshwara, he just rushed towards Kannauj. But whenever he was approaching Kannauj, and Shashank came to know about his approach towards Kannauj, so Shashank, under the fear, he vacated Kannauj and he returned to Gaur region. And at that time, Harsha didn't choose to chase Shashank, because he gave priority to saving his own sister, who just went to the forest in order to perform self-immolation or sati at the pyre of her husband. But Harsha just reached at the place and he rescued his sister from this self-immolation with the timely action. So in this way Harsha could save Rajeshri. But Harsha didn't chase Kannauj at that time at Gaur. मतलब कहानी यह है कि हर्षवर्धन, जब राज्यवर्धन तो अपने बहनोई का बदला ले लिया था, क्योंकि देवगुप्ता को उसने डिफीट करके मार डाला, लेकिन तब तक देवगुप्ता का फ्रेंड जो शशांक था उसने राज्यवर्धना को टीचरसली धोखे से मरवा डाला। अब मतलब विश्वासघात किया उसके साथ, मतलब एक तरह से सीक्रेटली मरवा डाला। ये सूचना जब हर्षवर्धन को मिली तो ही वॉज काफी फ्यूरियस हुआ, क्योंकि उसका भाई मारा गया, बहनों भी मारा गया था। तो तुरंत उसको थ्रोन को तो खाली नहीं छोड़ा जा सकता, तो पहले पुष्पभूति अस्थानेश्वर में उसने अपना कोरोनेशन किया, फिर आर्मी लेके रस किया कन्नौज में। और लेकिन शशांक को जब पता चला हर्षा आ रहा है तो अपना जगह खाली करके लौट गया अपने रीजन को। तब तक इसको सूचना मिली कि भाई इसकी जो बहन है राजश्री वो सती होने के लिए निकल गई है जंगल में अपने हस्बैंड के डेड बॉडी के साथ। तो पहले जाके अपने बहन को रेस्क्यू करके बचाया। अब इट वॉज द टाइम कि बिकॉज इवन द थ्रोन ऑफ कन्नौज वॉज वैकेंट एट दैट टाइम and Grahavarmana was not having any clear-cut successor. So the nobles of Kannauj requested Harsha to take the throne, or to, you can say, occupy the throne of Kannauj as well. So Harsha, with some hesitation for the fact that after all he was brother-in-law, and being a brother-in-law he was not entitled to be successor according to tradition. But at the request of the nobles of Kannauj, he even came to occupy the throne of Kannauj. So now it became a very momentous event in the history of India at that time, because two powerful states, Asthaneshwar and Kannauj, were amalgamated, and the resources of both together could create a problem of balance of power in the region. So now Harsha became a powerful king, and then Harsha started his march of conquest, that is called Digvijayan. Means Harsha started a march for victory. So firstly he successfully carried a western expedition, and this expedition was carried on between the region Asthaneshwar and the river Satluj. So he defeated some northwestern regions of the states and captured the region. Then he successfully carried the eastern expedition starting from Kannauj and he conquered all the regions between Kannauj and Gaur region. And at that time he didn't fight against Shashank. Possibly Shashank might have been a powerful king. Actually for his earlier victory we are depending over an important source and contemporary source, that is Harshcharita of Van Bhatt. But after all, Van Bhatt was a court poet, So Warnvert was possibly avoiding to write anything unpleasant about Harsha. So possibly he didn't prefer to mention about the fact that Harsha was still not in a position to subdue Shashank. So that's why Harsha avoided that confrontation with Shashank up to this period. But he conquered all the regions between Kannauj and Gaur, means except Shashank and except Gaur. So in this way he conquered the region. Then between 600 and this successful eastern and western expedition might have been performed something between 1618 to 1627. Then in 618 once again, please make me repeat. Actually, this eastern and western expedition were successfully performed something between 606 CE to 612 CE. मतलब इसके बारे में कहा जाता है कि 606 और 612 ईस्वी के बीच इसने सफलतापूर्वक पश्चिम में स्थानेश्वर से सतलज रिवर के बीच के भूभाग को और पूरब में कन्नौज से लेकर और गौर क्षेत्र के भूभाग को इसने जीत लिया. फिर 618, 618 एंड 627 के बीच, बिटवीन 618 एंड 627, he could conquer Sindh and Bengal. Even he could conquer Gaur, but it was possible for Harsha because Shashank was no more. He was already dead. So it was easy for Harsha to defeat and subdue his weak successor. So Harsha could capture the Gaur region as well. Then Harsha finally, you can say, even invaded Vallavi and defeated the Matraka ruler of Vallavi. His name was Dhrubsen Baladitya. मतलब उसने बल्लभी पर हमला करके ध्रुवसेन को पराजित किया. But he didn't destroy Dhrubsena. Rather, he preferred to get his daughter married to Dhrubsen. So Dhrubsen technically became his relative, his son-in-law. अब हर्षवर्धन एक एम्बिशियस किंग था नॉर्थ इंडिया में. सो हर्षवर्धन का प्लान यह था कि वी हैव टू क्रॉस द रिवर नर्मदा, एंड आफ्टर क्रॉसिंग द रिवर नर्मदा वी हैव टू मेक अ फर्दर एक्सटेंशन इन साउथ इंडिया और पेनिनसुलर इंडिया. एंड अर्लियर समुद्रगुप्ता वाज द लास्ट वन किंग who could cross the river Narmada, you know. But it was not possible for Harsha. Harsha tried to cross the region, but here you know, in this Chalukyan king, there was the one powerful king, you might have heard the name Pulkesin II. So Pulkesin II defeated him in a battle. And this was approved even by Huensang, who was a favorite person of Harsha, and Harsha was in his good book. He was a Buddhist monk, but even Huensang wrote his account, that is called Siuki. Siuki, that is the Chinese word, and in English you can say record of the West. Record of the West, why? Because India was lying west of China. So for China, India was west. So record of the West, this was the name of the text. So there he mentioned the defeat of Harsha at the hand of Pulkesin II. And one court scholar of this Pulkesin II, a court scholar of Pulkesin II was Ravi Kirti. In his a whole inscription, even he had mentioned about the defeat of Harsha. तो मतलब हर्षा उसमें हार गया और फिर हर्षा साउथ जाने का विचार छोड़ दिया. Then in 635-36, Harsha make an expedition in Kashmir, and he could conquer Kashmir. And then Harsha finally in 640 Harsha could conquer Odisha, and after that in 641 he even captured Magad and took the title Magdhadiraj. तो हर्षा ने नॉर्थ इंडिया के एक बड़े क्षेत्र को उसने यूनिफाई किया था. हर्षा, ये हर्षा का अचीवमेंट है, लेकिन हर्षा नर्मदा के साउथ में नहीं जा सका. अंत में 647 में हर्षा का डेथ हो गया, और हर्षा के डेथ के बाद इन नॉर्थ इंडिया विल कम टू रियलाइज कि देयर वाज सम सॉर्ट ऑफ पॉलिटिकल अपहेवियर्स और पॉलिटिकल एनार्की, व्हिच आई हैव टू डिस्कस. एंड देन देयर वुड बी, आफ्टर अ लॉन्ग टाइम, देयर वुड बी द राइज ऑफ द प्रतिहारा किंग एंड पाला किंग. बट आई हैव टू डिस्कस अबाउट द प्रतिहारा and the Pala dynasty later. After the death of, after you can say defeat of Harsha, it was possible, and that is the Pratihara, Pala and Pratihara king. Okay, anyway, point is. Now let us move towards first, you know, कि South India. Here you can say that is nahi. अब नाउ this is Chalukya state, this is Pallava state. My students, here I have to train you one thing. You are observing South India, so please, North India and South India. After finishing your class, you people are requested to do some sort of intellectual fermentation for some minutes. For example, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 35 minutes, whatever you can give. मतलब मैं ये चाहता हूं कि आप मुझे लास्ट में बता सको कि वैदिक पीरियड से लेकर अर्ली मेडिवल हिस्ट्री तक, ये पार्ट 2 है आपका, नॉर्थ इंडिया में कौन डायनेस्टी आई, उसके बाद कौन सी दूसरी डायनेस्टी आई, किंग का क्रोनोलॉजी आपका क्लियर होना चाहिए. साउथ इंडिया में यू शुड बी क्लियर about the one state, another state, when which state was replaced by which state. So my students, here just I am once again giving you a glimpse. First of all, in South India, the story starts with post-Maurya period. Are you recalling? That was the foundation of Satvahana state. Okay. Then Chewalchir Pandya state. You already know the fact. Then you come to know कि later, after the disintegration of Satvahana state, here was the rise of Vaktaka state, you know, Vaktaka dynasty, and here Ikshvaku dynasty. Then Vaktaka dynasty was replaced by Chalukya dynasty, okay, and this Pallava dynasty was replaced by whom? It was replaced by Rashtrakuta dynasty. This Chalukya dynasty was, the Vaktaka dynasty was replaced by Chalukya dynasty, and Ikshvaku dynasty was replaced by Pallava dynasty. So that is Chalukya and Pallava. अब ये चालुक्य और पल्लव का डायनेस्टी है. अब एक चीज तुम ध्यान रखना, जो साउथ इंडिया है, पेनिनसुलर इंडिया है, उसकी हिस्ट्री का एक इंपॉर्टेंट फीचर है कि इस रीजन और इस रीजन में जो दो डायनेस्टीज होती है, दे आर ऑन रेगुलर कॉन्फ्लिक्ट विथ ईच अदर, and this conflict was less dynastic and more geographical, because here the point is this thing is, one thing is, this is Godavari delta, so both the parties are just adamant to capture the region of Godavari delta. Godavari delta was the one region that was eluding both the party, and the second one region you can say Krishna Tungabhadra Doab region. तो एक रीजन है जिसको कहते हो कृष्णा तुंगभद्रा दोआब रीजन, और दूसरा रीजन है जिसको कहते हो गोदावरी डेल्टा रीजन. तो दोनों पार्टी कृष्णा तुंगभद्रा दोआब रीजन पर और गोदावरी डेल्टा रीजन पर कंट्रोल करना चाहेगा. तो चूंकि दोनों पार्टी उन्हीं रीजन पर कंट्रोल करना चाहेंगे, सो अ कंटिन्यूअस फाइट हैड टू परसू एज द रिजल्ट ऑफ दिस वन. तो यही मैं यहां पर आपको बताना चाहता हूं कि so this conflict was very regular. Ab founder of this Chalukya dynasty was Pulkesing the first, but the important king from this dynasty was Pulkesing the second. Pulkesing the second was a great warrior. He could defeat almost all of his neighbors. उसने अपने सारे neighbors को defeat किया. And then अब suppose करो Kadambaj, it was the Kadambaj, Pallavas, etc. He defeated, and he defeated Pallava king Mahendra Varmana the first, because founder of Pallava dynasty was Sinha Vishnu. Sinha Vishnu ruled between 575 to 600 CE, and the successor of Sinha Vishnu was, who was the founder of the dynasty Pallava dynasty, was the successor of Sinha Vishnu was, that was Mahendra Varmana the first. He ruled between 600 to 630. He was contemporary to Pulkesing the first, Pulkesing the second, and time period of Pulkesing the second was 609 to 642. So he was contemporary to Mahendra Varmana the first, and he was contemporary to Narsingh Varmana the first as well. So this Pulkesing the second invaded Pallava king, defeated Mahendra Varmana the first, and conquered from him the region of this Godavari delta, and laid the foundation of, and he established on this throne his own brother. His name was Vishnu Vardhana. So another branch of Chalukya had to be established in this region, that is called Bengi. मतलब पुलकेशिन द सेकेंड ने पल्लवा किंग महेंद्र वर्मन द फर्स्ट को डिफीट कर दिया, हरा दिया, और हराने के बाद यहाँ गोदावरी डेल्टा का एक लैंड छीन लिया, पार्ट छीन लिया, और यहाँ पर बेंगी राज्य की, उसको बेंगी बोलते हैं, बेंगी स्टेट की स्थापना की, और बेंगी में अपने भाई विष्णु वर्धना को अपॉइंट कर दिया। तो यहां पर एक अलग ब्रांच ऑफ चालुक्य स्टार्ट हो गया, उसको कहते हैं बेंगी का चालुक्य। खैर एनीवे, महेंद्र बर्मन द फर्स्ट के डिफीट को उसका जो सक्सेसर है, उसका बेटा है नरसिंह बर्मन द फर्स्ट, वो टॉलरेट नहीं कर सका। तो नरसिंह बर्मन द फर्स्ट जस्ट डिसाइडेड टू टेक रिवेंज फ्रॉम पुलकेशिन द सेकेंड। सो इन 642 CE you can say कि this Narsingh Varmana the first, he just he invaded here, that is you can say in Chalukya region, and he defeated Pulkeshin the second in 642 CE and killed Pulkeshin the second in a battle. And after killing and assassinating Pulkeshin the second, he could capture the capital of Pulkeshin the second, and the capital of Pulkeshin the second was Badami or Vatapi. So as he captured his capital, and as he captured the capital of Pulkeshin the second, so he took the famous title of Vatapi Konda. He took the title of Vatapi Konda. एंड देन यू कैन से डिफरेंट किंग्स के। अब बहुत सारे किंग्स का नाम देकर मैं आपको टॉर्चर नहीं करना चाहता। प्रिलिम्स में भी आपसे क्वेश्चन वो नहीं पूछेंगे, मेंस में भी तो पूछने का सवाल नहीं है, तो पॉलिटिकल हिस्ट्री है। तो आपको मैं यहीं पर एक दो किंग का नाम बता देता हूं। पुलकेशिन द सेकेंड के बाद बहुत समय तक इसका थ्रोन खाली होगा, फिर विक्रमादित्य फर्स्ट आएगा, फिर विक्रमादित्य सेकेंड आएगा, उसका एक डिस्टेंट सक्सेसर होगा। विक्रमादित्य फर्स्ट इमीडिएट सक्सेसर होगा एंड विक्रमादित्य सेकेंड डिस्टेंट सक्सेसर होगा। और फिर ये जो तुम चालुक्य डायनेस्टी देखते हो, इस चालुक्य डायनेस्टी में लास्ट किंग होगा, उसका नाम होगा कीर्तिवर्मन द सेकेंड। सो कीर्तिवर्मन द सेकेंड हैड टू बी डिथ्रोन्ड बाय हिज ओन मिलिट्री कमांडर, and the name of his military commander was who? Danti Durga. The name of his military commander would be Danti Durga, and this Danti Durga could lead his own dynasty, and the name of the dynasty is who? That is called Rashtrakuta dynasty. Danti Durga could lay the foundation of his own dynasty, and his dynasty came to be known as Rashtrakuta dynasty. So there would be the formation of Rashtrakuta dynasty. Likewise in Pallava, after Narasimhavarmana the first, who ruled between 630 to 668, then his successor was Narasimhavarmana the second, that is called Rajsimha. अब ये नरसिंहवर्मन सेकेंड वगैरह का नाम मैं इसलिए बता रहा हूं कि जब मैं आपको कल्चर का पार्ट कराऊंगा तो पल्लवा आर्किटेक्चर कराऊंगा, तो पल्लवा आर्किटेक्चर में कुछ उसके किंग्स के नाम आएंगे, तो वो किंग्स के नाम हम यहीं से लेंगे। तो पॉलिटिकल हिस्ट्री जानना इसलिए भी आपको आवश्यक है बिकॉज पॉलिटिकल हिस्ट्री द स्केलेटन ऑफ हिस्ट्री, दैट इज द स्केलेटन. If you are not aware about, you are not familiar with the skeleton, how can you come to know about the other part of history, that is called social history, that is called cultural history, that is called, you can say, so that's why you know you are supposed to know about the other part of history, that is called social history, that is called cultural history, etc., etc. So in this way you can go through it. Okay. So that is the part here, you know. Ab now this is the point here. In Pallava king, I have just told you that then you can say Rajsimha or the Narasimhavarman II was his successor, and the last king from this Pallava dynasty was, his name was Aparajita. So Aparajita was dethroned by his own commander or own, you can say, feudatory. His name was Aditya Chola. So it was Aditya Chola who, after dethroning this Aparajita, and then he could he could extend his estate, and he was from Chola dynasty. So there was the formation of Chola dynasty in the region. So there you can see that these Chalukyas were replaced by Rashtrakutas and Pallavas by Cholas. So now two different dynasties had to come here and in both had to fight against each other. दोनों को एक दूसरे से fight होना है. So you people have to be mentally alert now. Okay. So that is all about in South India. So now post Gupta period is over. Now you are coming to, you can say, early medieval period, 750 AD to 1200 AD. So let us start from North India first. In North India you will come to know, here you can say already there was the Rashtrakuta and there is Cholas. You are already aware of the fact. अब leave it here. अब यहां हमें बताना है, दक्षिण साउथ इंडिया में आप देख चुके हो. नॉर्थ इंडिया में आई हैव टोल्ड यू कि हर्षा पास्ट अवे इन 647 CE. But after the death of and after passing away of Harsha, there was some sort of political vacuum was created. There were some political upheavals, you know. So these political upheavals were known as, जिसको कहते हो कि political उथल पुथल. So आप जिसको political upheavals कहते हो, so there was the rise of some sort of political upheavals. तो वही जो पॉलिटिकल अपहेवल्स जो हुआ है और उसी पॉलिटिकल अपहेवल्स या उसी के जो वैकेंट पार्ट है, जो खालीपन है, उसी खालीपन को भरने के क्रम में जो वैक्यूम है, सो दिस वैक्यूम वाज ऑक्युपाइड बाय अदर रीजन्स, यू नो. एंड वही जो खालीपन है, उस खालीपन को भरने के क्रम में दो डायनेस्टी आएगी. एक आएगी पाला डायनेस्टी, दूसरा प्रतिहारा. So actually in east there was the foundation of the Pala state, in the west there was the foundation of Gurjar Pratihara state, that is called Gurjar Pratihara. So the first king from this Pala dynasty was Gopala. The first king from this Pala dynasty was whom? The first king from Pala dynasty was Gopala, and Gopala ruled something between 750 CE to 770 CE. Then after Gopala, and Gopala was replaced by Dharmpala. Gopala was replaced by Dharmpala, or Dharmpala 770 CE to 810 CE. My students, you people are supposed to have the knowledge about Gopala and Dharmpala compulsorily, क्योंकि ये knowledge आपको इसलिए जरूरी है, आवश्यक है कि मैं जब कल्चर पढ़ाऊंगा तो वहां पर फिर पाला डायनेस्टी का रेफरेंस आएगा, फिर धर्मपाल का डायनेस्टी का आएगा, क्योंकि बहुत सारा ये यूनिवर्सिटीज वगैरह को एस्टेब्लिश करेगा, विक्रमशिला को, उदंतपुरी को. सो आई हैव टू गिव सोमपुरा को, सो आई हैव टू गिव रेफरेंस टू दिस धर्मपाला. सो यू विल बी, तो धर्मपाला वाज द वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट किंग हियर, नो. एंड द सक्सेसर ऑफ धर्मपाला वाज देवपाला. धर्मपाला रूल्ड बिटवीन 770 to 810 and Devpala between 810 to 850. So these were the three important kings, you can say. And here in west you can say Gurjar Pratihara. So who was the, you can say, first king from this dynasty? So sometime you will come to know about a name, that is Harishchandra, but historicity of Harishchandra is not clear. जैसे गुर्जर प्रतिहारा का जो पहला किंग है, here you come to know one name, and this name is Harishchandra. But who is Harishchandra? That his historicity is not much clear. So after Harishchandra, you can say that the important king whose historicity is clear is Nagvat the first. So Nagvat the first was the first important king from this dynasty, and his successor was Vasraja. And the successor of Vasraja was Nagvat the second. The successor of Nagvat the second was Rambhadra, he was a weak king. And the successor of Rambhadra was Mihir Bhoj, he was a very famous king. And the successor of Mihir Bhoj was Mahendrapal, even he was powerful king. तो लेकिन इतने सारे किंग्स विंग्स का नाम आपको क्या याद रखना है, ये प्रैक्टिकली पॉसिबल होगा नहीं, और हम आपको टॉर्चर भी नहीं करना चाहेंगे. हम सिर्फ आपको यह बताना चाहेंगे कि पॉलिटिकल हिस्ट्री में उतने जरूर याद रखिए ताकि हम आगे इकोनॉमी, सोसाइटी, रिलीजियन, कल्चर, रिलीजियन, आर्ट एंड आर्किटेक्चर में जब किंग्स का रेफरेंस दे तो आप किंग्स के नाम को पकड़ लीजिए. और पीटी में भी आपको एक क्वेश्चन मिलेगा जिसमें डिफरेंट डायनेस्टीज को क्रोनोलॉजिकली सजाने के लिए कहेगा कि व्हिच केम फर्स्ट एंड व्हिच केम लेटर. तो देन You people have to make this point clear. So अब here you can see, here you have to find the example. So observe here कि this is Pratihara, this is Pala and this is Rashtrakuta. So first of all, in order to, and at that time, right from the time of Harsha, Kannauj became a symbol of power and prestige. So all the powers in North India, all the states and all the kings were North India were aspiring to have the control over Kannauj. चूंकि हर्षवर्धन के टाइम से ही कन्नौज इतना प्रेस्टिजियस प्लेस हो गया था कि कन्नौज पर कब्जा करने के लिए जितनी भी किंग्स और डायनेस्टीज थे वे सभी एस्पायर कर रहे थे। कन्नौज पर जो कंट्रोल है, कन्नौज पर कंट्रोल करने के लिए जितने भी किंग्स थे, जितने भी ये थे, वो सभी एस्पायर कर रहे थे कि हाउ टू पुट अ कंट्रोल ओवर कन्नौज। ओके, so in this way you can say कि a rivalry was going on. So first of all, a conflict started between Pala and Pratihara. But one interesting thing is that even Rashtrakuta joined this conflict, although Rashtrakuta was situated in South India in Deccan region. But for the first time, a power from South India or Deccan region could participate in a war or conflict in North India. It had to be repeated in future under Marathas. So it is really a surprising thing कि how did a dynasty from Maharashtra region could dare to move towards North India. अब that is known as tripartite conflict. This is known as tripartite conflict. And interesting thing was that at every occasion Pala and Pratihara both were fighting, and one party defeated the second party, sometime Pala to Pratihara and sometime Pratihara to Pala. But this conflict actually progressed in 6 stages, and when one party, Pratihara or Pala, used to defeat other, most of the time Pratihara used to defeat Palas, but in the meantime from South India Rashtrakutas could appear and they could defeat the Pratihara king and change him to the desert of Rajasthan. तो हर बार यही होता था. And it was in this context you can say कि first of all from South India Rashtrakuta king Dhruva, he was known as Dhruva Dharavars, he invaded North India. And after Dhruva his successor was Govinda III. So Govinda III also invaded North India twice. And it was Govinda III who conquered a region in Malwa. This region was under control of Pratihara. So Govinda III snatched the region of Malwa from Pratihara. मतलब जो गोविंदा III था, पहला तो ध्रुव धारावर्ष था, फिर दूसरा गोविंदा III था, और गोविंदा III है वह 2 बार नॉर्थ इंडिया में इन्वेड किया और उसने प्रतिहारा से मालवा का क्षेत्र छीन लिया और उस पर अपॉइंट किया अपने एक ऑफिसर को जिसका नाम था उपेंद्रा। और यही जो उपेंद्रा नामक ऑफिसर है इसी का एक आगे का सक्सेसर होगा सियक द सेकेंड। यही सियक द सेकेंड होगा, यही राष्ट्रकूटा डायनेस्टी को डिस्ट्रॉय कर देगा फाइनली, इस वंश के जो रूलर है उसको डिथ्रोन करेगा। और यही सियक द सेकेंड है हु विल बी द फाउंडर ऑफ द सो कॉल्ड परमारा डायनेस्टी, दैट इज कॉल्ड द राजपूता डायनेस्टी ऑफ परमारा। So Parmara dynasty, later. And after Govinda the third, it was Indra the third and Krishna the third from Rashtrakuta kings. Rashtrakuta dynasty was a powerful dynasty, and Rashtrakuta dynasty could establish a long list of powerful kings. मतलब राष्ट्रकूट जो राज्य है और राष्ट्रकूट वंश है उसमें एक के बाद दूसरे इतने पावरफुल किंग्स खड़े कर दिए कि जिनको काउंट करना मुश्किल है। Indra third, Krishna third, so many. But my students, finally you can say all the three parties, because there was no any definite outcome of this tripartite conflict, and all the three powers were just exhausted due to continuous war, and one by one these dynasties were replaced by other. For example, you can say there was the disintegration of this Pratihara dynasty, and there was the multi-state system started in North India, which I will make you familiar with, and that would be known as Rajput states. And then you can say in this Pala dynasty was later replaced by a Sena dynasty, the Sen dynasty, and this Sen dynasty was basically, it was a Rajputa dynasty. So in this way Rajput and you can say in North India there would be both the dynasties after decline of Pratihara dynasty and Pala dynasty, the tiny states were there, and that will be known as Rajput states. In South India you can say Rashtrakutas had to decline after Indra III. There was one Rashtrakuta king that was called Khotig. His capital was invaded by all the neighboring countries because Rashtrakutas were a great warrior, and the Rashtrakutas were the great tormented so many neighboring states through continuous invasions. So later all the neighboring states gathered together against Rashtrakutas. They were combined together, invaded Rashtrakutas capital at the time of Khotig. He was the king, and then burnt his capital alive or put his capital to ashes. मतलब कि उसके कैपिटल को, राजधानी को जला दिया सारे नेबरिंग कंट्रीज ने मिलकर खोटिक की राजधानी. Then last king from this dynasty was some Karka II. Karka II was the last king. Then there was one officer, his name was Talab II. So it was Talab II who dethroned Rashtrakuta here. And Talab II, he laid the foundation of his dynasty. He linked his lineage to old Chalukyas. So this Talab II, he linked his lineage to old Chalukyas. So his dynasty was known as later Chalukyas. Later Chalukyas. His dynasty was known as the dynasty of later Chalukyas. And if old Chalukyas, the capital of old Chalukyas was Badami, मतलब इसको उत्तरवर्ती चालुक्य बोलते हैं, और जो पुराने चालुक्य है उनका कैपिटल बादामी था, तो ये जो लेटर चालुक्याज है उसका कैपिटल है कल्याणी. सो बादामी एंड कल्याणी. सो दिस ओल्ड चालुक्याज वर रिप्लेस्ड बाय लेटर चालुक्याज. अब नाउ टू डायनेस्टीज हियर, द लेटर चालुक्याज, हियर चोला डायनेस्टी. बी क्लियर. अब नाउ यही दैट विल बी द लास्ट इन अर्ली मिडिवल एज, लेटर चालुक्याज एंड चोलाज इन साउथ इंडिया. In North India, Pratihara and Pala dynasties, they were replaced, and there was the multi-state system which will be known as Rajput states. So then we have to cover this area later.
सर विनय पूछ रहे हैं कि पोजीशन ऑफ वुमेन इन गुप्ता डायनेस्टी.
विनय, एक बड़ी निराशाजनक बात यह है कि मेरे तमाम प्रयास के बावजूद हम आपको अपना स्कीम बताने की कोशिश करते हैं, लेकिन विनय आपके साइड से जो क्वेश्चन आता है वो हमेशा मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि आप मेरे स्कीम को नहीं समझ रहे हैं. विनय, वंस अगेन आई एम हेल्पिंग यू टू अंडरस्टैंड माई स्कीम. फॉर द सेक ऑफ योर कन्वीनियंस विनय, आई हैव डिवाइडेड हिस्ट्री in different parts: political, economic, social and cultural. Okay. So Vinay, in political history had to be divided between two parts: political expansion, and then in political expansion, state, empire, dynasties and the kings, and the second one part would be administration. Presently I am going through the first sub part of political, that is state, empire, dynasty and king. After finishing it, then I have to move to administration, whose material I have sent you in advance. Then after finishing that, then I will catch up economy, and economy I have to underline the changes: agriculture, craft, trade, monetary system and urbanization. And then we have to move from Vedic period to early medieval age. After finishing economy, then we have to come to society: Varna system, caste system, condition of women, condition of Sudraj, condition of untouchables, And it was while dealing with this topic, then whenever I will reach to the Gupta period, I will automatically mention विनय कि what is the condition of women. अब विनय, अब हम जब यहाँ पर पॉलिटिकल हिस्ट्री पढ़ा रहे हैं, तब विनय आप हमसे क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हैं गुप्ता पीरियड के, आप विमेन के कंडीशन को बताइए, तो मैं कैसे समझूं कि आप मेरे क्लास को समझ रहे हो. मुझे लगता है कि विनय कम से कम अब घर पर जाके थोड़ा मनन चिंतन करना, थोड़ा मेडिटेशन करना कि आपका हिस्ट्री किस तरह चल रहा है. इसलिए आप प्लीज आप अनटाइमली उस तरह का क्वेश्चन मत पूछिए जिससे मुझे यह पता चले कि आप टॉपिक को नहीं समझ पा रहे. हाँ, अगर आपको कुछ भी टॉपिक जो मैं पढ़ा रहा हूं पॉलिटिकल हिस्ट्री में क्वेश्चन पूछना है, पॉलिटिकल हिस्ट्री से पूछिए, मोस्ट वेलकम, आई एम ऑलवेज टू हेल्प यू. लेकिन आप अब रिलीजन से क्वेश्चन पूछेंगे, आप सोसाइटी से, आप स्कीम को नहीं समझ रहे हो.
अगस्त कह रही कि सर प्लीज आस्क चालुक्य ऑफ वातापी वंश.
क्या? व्हाट?
चालुक्य ऑफ वातापी वंश.
वातापी डायनेस्टी. वातापी, देखो वातापी एंड वादामी इज द सेम. आई हैव टोल्ड यू कि एक्चुअली आफ्टर डिक्लाइन ऑफ वक्टका डायनेस्टी देयर वाज द फाउंडेशन ऑफ चालुक्य डायनेस्टी. सो द कैपिटल ऑफ चालुक्य वाज वादामी. And this another name for Badami is Vatapi Vatapi. So that's why when Narsingh Varman the first, he was a Pallava king, he defeated Chalukya king Pulkeshin the second, and then after this victory, in commemoration of this victory, he took this pompous title like Vatapi Konda, he who conquers Vatapi, and the same Vatapi is Vadami.
You see, sir, what happened to Vengi ke Chalukya?
They continue. Bengi Chaluk continue even after the decline of the main branch of Chalukyas. Bengi's Chalukyas continue later, and a time came कि Bengi Chalukya just merged with Cholas because there was the matrimonial relationship between the Bengi Chalukya and Cholas. Then the Bengi Chalukya became issueless, so Chola king even came to occupy the throne of Bengi Chalukyas. For example, Kulotung the first. Kulotung the first was bearing in his vein both the blood Chola and Chalukya, because he was representing Bengi Chalukya and apart from that Cholas.
सर रिम्पी कह रही राष्ट्रकूटा डायनेस्टी कैसे एंड हुआ?
राष्ट्रकूटा डायनेस्टी के बारे में किसने पूछा है क्वेश्चन?
रिम्पी.
रिम्पी, मैंने राष्ट्रकूटा डायनेस्टी के बारे में आपको बताया कि राष्ट्रकूटा डायनेस्टी में बहुत सारे पावरफुल किंग्स हुए थे, लेकिन राष्ट्रकूटा डायनेस्टी का बड़ा इन्वेडिंग पॉलिसी थी, तो सारे नेबर्स को इन्वेड करके उसने परेशान कर रखा था. उस डायनेस्टी का सबसे पावरफुल किंग कृष्णा द थर्ड हुआ था. कृष्णा द थर्ड के बाद उसका जो सक्सेसर है, वो जो उत्तराधिकारी जिसको बोलते हो, वीक हो गया. तो उसके जो वीक सक्सेसर थे, उसी वीक सक्सेसर में एक सक्सेसर था खोटिग, तो वो संभाल नहीं पाया, तो उसके सारे नेबर्स ने मिलकर उसके कैपिटल पर हमला कर दिया. वही मैंने पिछली स्टोरी बताई. अब होता है क्या है कि पॉलिटिकल हिस्ट्री में तो कहानी लंबी होती है. इंग्लिश मीडियम के क्लाइंट है तो इंग्लिश मीडियम को हमको करना पड़ता है. अब जो इंग्लिश वाले हैं उनको दिक्कत होती है कि सर इंग्लिश में ही बोले जा रहे हैं, तो बीच बीच में हिंदी भी बोलनी पड़ती है, और हर चीज को रिपीट करने पर टाइम टेकिंग बहुत ज्यादा हो जाता है. तो एक बीच का रास्ता लेते हैं, जहां तुम लोग नहीं समझो वहां पूछ लिया करो. इंग्लिश वाले आप लोग भी निराश मत होना, कहीं भी कोई अगर पॉइंट आपका रह जाता है तो आप हिंदी में पूछ लेना, तो मैं हिंदी में आपको समझा दूंगा. तो मैंने वही बताया कि एक्चुअली जब खोटिग पर उसके सारे नेबरिंग रीजन्स ने हमला कर दिया, तो क्या हुआ कि उसके कैपिटल को सबने जला दिया. तो जब उसके कैपिटल को जला दिया तो कमजोर हो गया, वीक हो गया. उसका लास्ट करका द सेकेंड किंग था, तो वही थ्रोन पर था, तो वीक था, अपने आप को बचा नहीं सकता था. तो एक उसी का अधिक ऑफिसर था, उसका नाम था तैलब द सेकेंड. तो जो तैलब द सेकेंड था उसने उसको डिथ्रोन कर दिया और अपने डायनेस्टी को फाउंड कर दिया. और उसने कहा कि हम चालुक्य के ही वंशज हैं, तो वो कहलाया लेटर चालुक्याज. फर्क यह है कि जो पहला वाला चालुक्याज है उसका कैपिटल बादामी है, और जो दूसरा वाला चालुक्य है उसका कैपिटल कल्याणी है. तो इसको बोलते हैं लेटर चालुक्याज, उत्तरवर्ती चालुक्य. तो मुझे लगता है डिम्पी अब आप समझ गए हो राष्ट्रकूटा के एंड का.
तो जितेंद्र पूछ रहे हैं मिहिर भोज.
मिहिर भोज वॉज ए प्रतिहारा किंग. एक्चुअली The founder of this dynasty was Nagbhat the First. Nagbhat the First was a powerful king. He defeated an Islamic invading army. So after this success, Nagbhat the First became a very prestigious king. And his successor was Vats Raja. Even he was a powerful king. And the successor of Vats Raja was इंग्लिश में पूछा था हिंदी में?
हिंदी।
अच्छा, हाँ। तो मैंने बताया कि नागभट्ट का जो सक्सेसर हुआ वो सक्सेसर का नाम था वत्सराज, और वत्सराज के सक्सेसर का नाम था नागभट्ट सेकेंड, वो भी पावरफुल किंग था। और उसका सक्सेसर हुआ जिसका नाम था रामभद्र, वो एक कमजोर रूलर था। और रामभद्र का सक्सेसर हुआ मिहिर भोज, वो बड़ा प्रतापी बहुत ग्रेट शासक था। मिहिर भोज की बड़ी तारीफ होती है। मिहिर भोज उसके इसलिए कहते हैं क्योंकि भोज दो है। एक भोज आपको परमारा डायनेस्टी में राजपूत पीरियड में मिलेगा, तो जो भोज परमारा डायनेस्टी में राजपूत पीरियड में मिलेगा उसका नाम अलग होगा, उसका नाम होगा भोज परमार। सो दैट इज नोन एज भोज परमार, इसलिए मिहिर भोज बोलते हैं। और मिहिर भोज का उत्तराधिकारी महेंद्र पाल होगा, बाद में उसका डायनेस्टी कमजोर हो जाएगा मिहिर भोज के बाद।
ओके सर।
So my students, अब now Palaj Pratyahara you have already done. अब here I have to inform you कि actually after the disintegration of Pratyahara dynasty in North India, there were some Rajputa kings, you know, and there was the foundation of Rajputa dynasty. So that is here you can say near Peshawar, that is the region of Ohind. Ohind मतलब that is called Ohind. And here the state of Ohind, and here you can see a dynasty was established there, that is called Hindu Shahi dynasty. मतलब मैंने बताया कि अब देखो राजपूत राज्य स्थापित होंगे जो बहुत छोटे छोटे राज्य होंगे और अलग अलग क्षेत्रों में होंगे। तो ये जो जगह देखते हो ओहिंद है पेशावर के पास, और यहाँ पर एक हिंदू शाही डायनेस्टी स्टैब्लिश हुआ, और इसी हिंदू शाही डायनेस्टी का किंग था जयपाल, जयपाला द फर्स्ट एंड हिज सक्सेसर आनंद पाला द फर्स्ट। सो इट वाज जयपाला द फर्स्ट हु जस्ट you can say face the continuous attack, Jayapala the first and his successor Anandpala. So both faced the continuous attack from the side of Turkish ruler Mahmud Ghazni, this Hindu Shahi dynasty. Jayapala the first actually, when in 1001 Mahmud Ghazni invaded India, and then Mahmud Ghazni defeated this Rajput king Jayapala. So Jayapala felt so much humiliated after this defeat that he didn't prefer to survive, and he performed self-immolation on a funeral pyre. Why? Because it was running against the basic Rajput prestige. He didn't accept the defeat. Then Anandpala fought regularly against Mahmud Ghazni, but even he was subjected to continuous invasions. And then successor of Anand Pala was Tirlochan Pala, and then the last king from the dynasty was Bhima. And later this Mahmud Ghazni captured his capital. So Al-Waruni and Kalhan, these are the two historians, so they have profusely praised this dynasty, and they tried to establish that this dynasty just shedded their blood just like the water for the protection of border of Hindustan. मतलब ये जो डायनेस्टी है, ये जो वंश है, उसकी प्रतिष्ठा का गान करते हुए कलहन ने भी कहा है और अलवरुनी ने भी कहा है कि ये डायनेस्टी इतना मतलब बड़ा सैक्रिफाइस किया है कि अपने पूरे ब्लड को पानी की तरह नॉर्थ वेस्ट की सिक्योरिटी के लिए, उसके डिफेंस के लिए लगा दिया। अब द सेकेंड वन इन हियर यू कैन से, दैट इज यू कैन से दिल्ली एंड अजमेर। सो इन दिल्ली एंड अजमेर यू विल कम टू नो कि दैट वाज चौहाना डायनेस्टी। अजमेर एंड दिल्ली, Chauhanas were first established in Ajmer. Ajmer was his capital region, but later, actually, at the time of Bigrah Raja the Fourth, just Chauhanas came to capture Delhi as well. Delhi was earlier ruled by Tomars. He was also a Rajputa king, Tomars. So Tomars in Delhi, you can say that is Chauhana. And Tomars in Delhi, but later from Tomars it was Chauhanas who came to capture Delhi. And this Tomar king Anangpal is much in news, even recently you can say, because now actually Delhi's Hindu identity is being emphasized presently. We are talking about simply Turkish rulers in Delhi and Mughal rulers in Delhi, but founder of Delhi was Anangpal, that is called a Rajputa king. So that's why now it is much in the news recently. And then you know, in central India there was Chandela dynasty, foundation of Chandela dynasty. In Chandela king you might have heard the name, that is Gand, Dhang and Vidyadhar. Chandela dynasty, Gand, Dhanga and Vidyadhar. So they belong to Chandela dynasty. It is believed that when Mahmud Ghazni invaded North India, so there was some alliance of Rajput states, and this common राजपूत कोलिशन वॉज लेड बाई चंदेला किंग. मतलब एक धारणा यह है कि जब महमूद गजनी का इन्वेजन नॉर्थ इंडिया में हुआ था तो राजपूत स्टेट्स ने मिलकर आपस में उसका सामना करने के लिए गठबंधन बनाया था, जिसका मुखिया, जिसका जो हेडशिप करता था वो चंदेला किंग करते थे. चंदेला का जो कैपिटल है वो महोबा भी था और खजुराहो भी था. एंड कालिंजर, महोबा एंड खजुराहो, दे वर द ग्रेट सेंटर ऑफ the architectural monuments, and you can say they are the important center for architectural activity. वहां पर महान टेम्पल्स आज भी आपको मिलते हैं. तो चंदेला डायनेस्टी हुआ. इधर गुजरात में सोलंकी डायनेस्टी, फॉर एग्जाम्पल विक्रमादित्य एटसेट्रा. सो सोलंकी डायनेस्टी दैट बिलोंग्स टू गुजराता किंग्स. And here the Vikramaditya fifth and Vikramaditya fourth. So his court was decorated by some scholars. His name was Bilhan, Vikramaditya Charitam, that is in his honor. So this was in, you can say, Gujarat. Then in Malwa there was the Parmara dynasty, and actually Munja was a king from this dynasty. He was a powerful king, Munja, from Parmara dynasty. But one important king from this dynasty was Bhoj Parmara. तो भोज परमारा के विषय में कहा जाता है कि जो भोज परमार थे उसके बारे में कहा जाता है कि वॉज ए ग्रेट पैटर्न टू स्कॉलर्स एंड आर्टिस्ट. इट इज सेड अबाउट दिस परमारा कि जो भोज परमारा है उनके बारे में बताता हूं कि जब उसका डेथ हुआ था तो वो उसको माना जाता था अ ग्रेट पैटर्न टू एजुकेशन एंड आर्ट. तो उसके डेथ पर स्कॉलर्स ने काफी शेडेड टीयर्स, विद्वानों ने आंसू बहाया था. और देन यू फाइंड हियर अनदर डायनेस्टी दैट इज नोन एज कलचुरी डायनेस्टी इन गोरखपुर, डाहल मंडल. द रीजन डाहल मंडल नियर गोरखपुर, यूपी. You might have at the border of Bihar and UP. So that is called Dahal Mandal. So there was a dynasty that is called Kalachuri dynasty. In Bengal there was Sen dynasty. Lakshman Sen, earlier you can say. And in Kannauj there was Gaharwala dynasty. Jaichand, you might have heard the name. Firstly Pratihara and then Gaharwala dynasty. So it was the scenario of North India when firstly Mahmud Ghazni carried the continuous invasions on North India, even before Prithviraj Chauhan, earlier than that. When Ghazni's invasion stopped and Ghazni's empire declined, then there was the rise of Ghori's empire. So it is, my students, in the part 3rd, I have to discuss about the Ghazni's and Ghori's invasion on India. Rise of Islam, Ghazni's, Ghori's invasion on India. That I will just deal with this topic later. Whenever I will teach you this part 3rd, political history. Presently we are in the part 2nd. तो ये हो गया आपके नॉर्थ इंडिया का सिनेरियो. अब नाउ वी हैव टू मूव टू द सिनेरियो ऑफ साउथ इंडिया. अब यहाँ पर जो नॉर्थ इंडिया का सिनेरियो है वो भी बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है, परंतु हम आपको साउथ इंडिया ले चलते हैं। देखो, दैट इज अ लेटर चालुक्याज एंड हियर चोलाज। सो दीज आर द लास्ट टू डायनेस्टीज. So both had to fight against each other, continuous fight. And even in later Chalukya, there were some important king like Vikrama Satyasraya, Vikramaditya the fifth, etc. But Chola dynasty could produce a very powerful king. The founder of the Chola dynasty was, जैसे founder of this latter Chalukya dynasty was Talab II. I have told you earlier. Talab II latter Chalukya dynasty का founder था और Chola dynasty का founder था विजयालया. जो Chola dynasty का founder था वो कौन था? वो था विजयालया. विजयालया का टाइम पीरियड है 750 CE to 775 CE. Sorry, 775 CE to 800 CE. Okay, anyway, successor of Vijayalaya was Aditya the First, and the successor of Aditya the First was Parantaka the First. So Parantaka the First was just emerging as a powerful king, but unfortunately he was defeated at the hand of a Rashtrakuta king. The name of the Rashtrakuta king was Krishna the Third. आपने मतलब PS1 और PS2 अगर देखा होगा तो उसमें आपने राष्ट्रकूट और चोला का कॉन्फ्लिक्ट देखा होगा. सो नॉर्दर्न पार्ट ऑफ चोला स्टेट वाज अनेक्स्ड बाय राष्ट्रकूटा. सो चोला पावर इनिशियली रिसीव्ड अ मेजर सेटबैक, बट चोला पावर ट्रूली इमर्ज्ड अंडर राजा राज द फर्स्ट. That is called Armolivarman, Raja Raj the First. He ruled between 985 to 1014. Raja Raj the First. So Raja Raj the First defeated almost all of his neighbors. He defeated later Chalukyas. He defeated even Cheras, Bhaskar Varmana. Then he defeated Pandyas also, and above all, Raja the First. Raja Raj the First, he defeated and conquered northern Sri Lanka and destroyed the capital of Sri Lanka, that is called Anuradhapur. तो उसके बारे में कहा जाता है कि उसने नॉर्दर्न श्रीलंका को भी कंकर कर लिया और उसके कैपिटल अनुराधापुर को डिस्ट्रॉय कर दिया. He destroyed his capital Anuradhapur.
सर कुछ बच्चे कह रहे हैं कि सर please tell some ideas for retaining all these names and facts.
let me finish, then I will make you clear. Let me finish. तो राज राजा फर्स्ट का जो सक्सेसर हुआ वह सक्सेसर राजेंद्र द फर्स्ट हुआ. The successor of Rajaraja the First was Rajendra the First, and he ruled between 1012 to 1044. अब Rajaraja could continue up to 1014, but he started from 1012 because under Chola there was a tradition that the crown prince is being associated with the king some years earlier. तो 1012 से उसने रूल करना शुरू किया. राजेंद्र द फर्स्ट ये बहुत ग्रेट वॉरियर था. इसने ही फर्दर कैरीड द पॉलिसी ऑफ कॉन्क्वेस्ट ऑफ हिज फादर राजा द फर्स्ट. राजेंद्र द फर्स्ट है, उसने मतलब ही डिफीटेड लेटर चालुक्यास, डिफीटेड चेराज, ही कंकर्ड पांड्यास एंड ह्यूमिलिएटेड द पांड्या किंग. ही डिफीटेड श्रीलंका and arrested the Sri Lankan king Mahinda the Fifth with his wife and conquered whole Sri Lanka. Then it was Rajendra the First. मतलब राजेंद्र द फर्स्ट अपने सारे नेबर को डिफीट किया. अब क्या हुआ कि उसने अपने सबसे जो नियरेस्ट नेबर था लेटर चालुक्या, जो उसको डिफीट किया, चेराज को डिस्ट्रॉय किया, पांड्या किंग जो अमर भुजंग है उसको ह्यूमिलिएट किया, डिफीट किया, और श्रीलंका का जो रूलर महिंद्रा द फिफ्थ था उसको अपने वाइफ समेत उसको डिफीट करने के बाद उसको अरेस्ट कर लिया. तो उसको वाइफ समेत अरेस्ट कर लिया। महेंद्र द फिफ्थ है, उसको वाइफ समेत अरेस्ट कर लिया। तो ही वॉज फाइनली यू कैन से अरेस्टेड। और अच्छा तो इस प्रकार से, और फिर उसने while following this route, अब देखो दिस रूट को जैसे मतलब एक्चुअली समुद्रगुप्ता हैज डिफीटेड साउथ इंडिया, यू हैव वेल अवेयर ऑफ द फैक्ट। तो समुद्रगुप्ता फॉलोड द रूट while following the same route Rajendra the First could move to North India and he made an invasion on Bengal, and after invading Bengal he could conquer Bengal. So that is called Bengal expedition in 1012. And the last, here you find that there was a Sailendra Empire. In Southeast Asia, there was one empire that is called Sailendra Empire or Srivijaya, based in Indonesia. माने इंडोनेशिया में मलक्का के पास एक सैलेंद्रा एम्पायर था। In 1025, Rajendra the First started a naval expedition against this Sailendra Empire. तो राजेंद्र द फर्स्ट के बारे में कहा जाता है जब नॉर्थ इंडिया में, जिस समय महमूद गजनी के इन्वेजन से नॉर्थ इंडिया परेशान था, उस समय राजेंद्र द फर्स्ट एक वास्ट ओशनिक एम्पायर को बिल्ड कर रहा था। बट माय फ्रेंड्स, आफ्टर राजेंद्र द फर्स्ट द चोलन एम्पायर just weakened and there was the continuous war between later Chalukyan and Cholas because the war was more geographical than dynastic, and finally both the empires just broke to pieces up to 13th century. Up to 13th century, the latter Chalukya and Chola empire both were just, you can say, broke to pieces in 13th century, and then you will come to realize that here in Cholas and later Chalukyas, here you can observe here, that is after the disintegration of later Chalukya empire, there was the Yadava state in Maharashtra, Yadava state in Maharashtra, and here you can see Kakatiya state in Warangal in Andhra. Kakatiya state Warangal in Andhra, Kakatiya state. Then Hoysala state in Dwar Samudra, Karnataka. Hoysala state, मान इसको होयसल राज्य बोलते हैं। इन लास्ट यू कैन से पांड्या स्टेट इन मदुरई। तो मतलब मैं यहां पर ये बता रहा हूं कि जो लेटर चालुक्या टूटेगा तो वहां पर दो स्टेट बनेंगे, एक यादव स्टेट बनेंगे, यादव स्टेट बनेंगे महाराष्ट्र में, और काकातिया स्टेट कहलाएगा वारंगल में। और फिर जब चोला इंपायर टूटेगा तो दो स्टेट निकल के आएंगे, एक निकल के आएगा कर्नाटका में द्वार समुद्रा, और सबसे लास्ट में तमिलनाडु में, साउदर्न आंध्र प्रदेश और तमिलनाडु में आंध्रा स्टेट, सॉरी पांड्या स्टेट। तो चार डायनेस्टी हो गए, दैट इज यादवा, काकातीय, होयसला एंड पांड्या। तो अब मैं स्टूडेंट साउथ इंडिया को यहीं पर आप छोड़ दीजिए और फिर अलाउद्दीन खिलजी की आर्मी के साथ हम लोग पार्ट थर्ड में आएंगे साउथ इंडिया में। तब आपको यहां पर फिर मुलाकात होगी यादवा स्टेट से, काकातीय स्टेट से, होयसला स्टेट से और पांड्या स्टेट से। देन आई रिमाइंड यू कि वी हैव लिव्ड द हिस्ट्री हियर, और जहां हमने यहां छोड़ा वी हैव टू स्टार्ट फ्रॉम द सेम पॉइंट व्हेनेवर वी हैव टू गो एंड वी हैव टू मूव फ्रॉम द पार्ट थर्ड। अब आ जाइए कि आप में से कुछ स्टूडेंट ने सवाल यह किया कि सर इतने किंग्स के नाम इतने, डोंट बॉदर अबाउट दैट, सिंपली ट्राई टू थिंक कि व्हिच डायनेस्टी वाज रिप्लेस्ड बाय व्हिच डायनेस्टी। अबाउट डेट्स यू शुड नॉट बी परप्लेक्स्ड एट ऑल, better to think the single thing कि this king has been succeeded by whom. So there's in your mind the chronology of the king should be clear, but it does not mean that you have to try to do the rote learning. मैंने जितने किंग्स के नाम देखो, अब इतने मैंने आपको मैटर में दिए हैं, तो उतना आप देख लो ना, उसमें आपको कितना, अब जैसे चौहाना डायनेस्टी कौन रीजन है, मैंने बहुत ज्यादा तो फैक्ट्स आपको दिया ही नहीं है, थोड़ा थोड़ा फैक्ट्स को देखकर और थोड़ा सा आप उसका इंटेलेक्चुअल फर्मेंटेशन करिए, जिस इंटेलेक्चुअल फर्मेंटेशन को मैं कहता हूं बौद्धिक जुगाली। अब आस्क मी द क्वेश्चन, आई एम हैविंग 10 minutes एट माई डिस्पोजल टू डील विथ, और आई विल जस्ट सॉल्व योर प्रॉब्लम। व्हाट प्रॉब्लम यू फील, डिस्कस विथ मी। I am just waiting for your response. What problem you feel? I am having 10 minutes at my disposal. I will deal with the problems.
सर आलम पूछ रहे हैं कि सर बुक भी पढ़ना पड़ेगा आपके नोट्स के लिए।
पॉलिटिकल हिस्ट्री में मत कुछ पढ़ो, नोट्स में मैंने पॉलिटिकल हिस्ट्री जितना दिया उससे आप काम चलाइए। आलम, it will be perplexing for you. हाँ, about culture I will just give you some clue. You can go through.
शशि पूछ रहे हैं सर ये सारे एम्पायर्स के नाम कास्ट पर क्यों है?
कास्ट पर कहाँ है? जैसे Shashi, your example is not clear. Empire is on the name of caste. I don't know from where you have brought this question. I don't think this is the named on caste. Please give me some examples so that I will be clear about the question.
अलाउद्दीन पूछ रहे हैं सर contemporary India Chola dynasty progressed by navy. What is the reason behind this?
Cholas are exclusively known for their very successful navy. Even in present India, you can say the victory and the success of Cholas are remembered today. So far the question of the naval power is concerned. It is true. Because in Sailendra Empire, you can say, actually it is said that in fact Cholas naval force was so powerful that Cholas could successfully transform the Bay of Bengal in Chola Lake. So that is a great feat of success for Cholas.
Sir, Reena कह रही है sir, I have a problem in dynasties. How to remember all the dynasties?
रीना, आप एक तरीका है, तरीका रीना ये है कि you have to start. अब देखो, अब जैसे you will go through Vedic period, okay? Reena, I am giving you some clue. You have to follow my clue. A Vedic period. In Vedic period, firstly go through the names and then start to think कि Vedic Aryans expanded from which region to which region. You will find that कि Eastern Afghanistan, Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, Kashmir, Western UP. Yes, you have to stop. Then go through later Vedic. Then start to think कि in later Vedic period which state? The Kuru state, Panchala state. Then at the end of later Vedic period, Kosala state, Kasi state. मतलब shut your eyes and start to think. Then come up to, you know, this Sadanira river. Beyond that, there was the, you can say, beyond that, there was the non-Aryan region, you know. Then comes Mahajanpada, 16 Mahajanpadas. Just try to recall. And then Magdha, Hanyak dynasty. 2 kings at least you will have the name. Bimbisar, Ajasatru. Then you will come Shishunaga, a single one king name at least you will have. Then Mahapadnanda, the 4 kings. Then you have to move further. Then comes to Maurya. Then expansion of Maurya Empire. Chandragupta Maurya in northwest. In the meantime, Alexander's invasion, which was the eastern boundary of Alexander's empire was, you can say, river Vyas. Beyond that, the region of Dhanananda, you know. So after the exit of Alexander, what happened? How did Chandragupta Maurya went there? Then how did Chandragupta Maurya, after, you can say, conquering northwest region, then he could conquer Patliputra. So in this way, Chandragupta Maurya could expand here. So then after Chandragupta Maurya, Bindusara, Ashoka, that's over. Then come to post Maurya, categorize the state in 3 parts. So up, you know, you will go through every topic, and after learning it means you have to going through it seriously, then keep 5 minutes and start think. And my students, that will produce the miraculous effect, you know, and you will realize that gradually a series will be set in your mind, and maybe after 10 days, 5 days, 6 days, you will forget the series, because forgetfulness is inherently our feature and feature of our mind. But here, you know, after again you will give half an hour, then you will recollect all the previous ideas. So that will not create any problem for you.
Sachin Kiran sir, what about Sangam states, Chola, Chera and Pandyas?
Sangam, these were known as Sangam states, but what is the culture? What are the cultural attributes of the Sangam state? So I will discuss this aspect whenever I will teach you Chera, Chola and Pandyas.
Astha Ganesh sir, what is relation between Pandya and Chola?
Pandya was a separate state and even Chola defeated Pandya, so Pandya became the feudatory, जिसको कहते हो सामंत. तो पांड्या तो बहुत वीक थे. अब एक टेल मी वन थिंग, आई एम पुटिंग वन क्वेश्चन टू यू. इन साउथ इंडिया कैन यू गिव मी द सीरीज कि फ्रॉम वेयर द हिस्ट्री साउथ इंडिया state formation in South India started, and in South India, I am asking simply about South India. Which state was replaced by which state? How many of you can reply my question? Please give your node, yes or no. Which dynasty was replaced by whom in South India? Starting from Satvahana. How many of you can recall presently? Please be fast.
Yes, sir.
हो जाएगा. गुड. अब देखो सातवाहना, जस्ट रिकॉल 2 minute रिवीजन. सातवाहना, then after decline of Satvahana, here the Vaktaka, here Ikshvaku. Then after some time this Vaktaka dynasty was replaced by Chalukyas and Ikshvaku was replaced by Pallavas. Then here you can say once again this Chalukya was replaced by Rashtrakutas. Here the Pallavas were replaced by Cholas. Then this Rashtrakutas were replaced by later Chalukyas. Here the Cholas continued. Then this later Chalukyas and Cholas broke down. After their breaking, then their Yadava state in Maharashtra, Kakatiya state in Andhra, Dwar Samudra, Hoysala state in Dwar Samudra, and Pandya state in remote south, you can say in Tamil Nadu. So यही तो है.
So Usha pushing, what is the difference between Sangam periods Pandyas and Pandya after disintegration of Chola?
Right. Usha, this is really confusing. I can very well understand your question, and anybody can be perplexed because Pandya dynasty continued from, you can say, for the first time Pandyas have been mentioned in Ashoka's inscription. Cholas, Pandyas, Kshatriyaputra and Keralaputra. So in second major rock edict of Ashoka, for the first time the Pandya dynasty was mentioned. Then once again we will hear about Pandyas in Sangam period. Then Pandyas will continue till 13th century, when Alauddin Khilji army will just invade South India and the Madurai or Mawa region. So even then you will hear about Pandya. So Usha, you should not get perplexed. These are the different Pandyas. They are simply taking the title like Pandya dynasty, you know. Otherwise, they were the different dynasty, and continuing from nearly 3rd century BC till 13th century, 1600 years तक Pandya dynasty कोई ना कोई रूप में साउथ में रहे.
Sam Pujan sir, what about Indraprastha Pandavas?
वो पांडवास है, not Pandyas. And Indraprastha Pandavas is not having historicity. That is a mythological character. देखो आप अपने दिमाग में क्लियर करो, हिस्ट्री और माइथोलॉजी में डिफरेंस है. अगर मेरे से क्लास करने के बाद भी ये कंफ्यूजन आपको रह गया तो ये मेरे लिए बहुत शर्मनाक बात हो जाएगी. It is really a challenge for me कि I have to make you clear कि there is a greater difference between the mythology and history. Keep in your mind, your history has started and the first historical dynasty is Haryak dynasty and Bimbisar. Earlier than whatever Raja Parikshit, Janmejaya, etc. All the kings have been mentioned in Mahabharata or Atharvaveda or any other text. They are the imaginary kings. They are the mythological kings, not real king. Real king Bimbisara, history starts from there. And after that, whosoever kings I have just mentioned, all are historical kings. But don't talk about Pandya of Indraprastha. That is not historical character.
Swati Kare sir, Chera dynasty and Keralaputra,
both are the same.
ठीक.
Swati, both are the same. You are correct. Chera dynasty and Keralaputra both are the same, Swati.
Okay.
Okay, my students, up now on Monday, I have to deal with administration. I'll send you in advance the material on economy as well. So if after finishing administration, although it is very little chance, because Monday at least it will take whole class to finish administration, because administration in the major parts. On Monday I'll just discuss administration, and then on Monday I'll send you the economic part as well. You have to go through the administration in the meantime, and then I'll continue on Monday. So today I'm stopping here. Thank you very much. About political history, you should not get disheartened, but follow my same formula. After revising the different dynasties in my study material, do some, you can say, intellectual fermentation, Bodhik Jugali, everything would be okay. I'll see you on Monday. Thank you very much. Good night.